Hi everybody and welcome to Board Game Heaven. In this episode I am going to do a massive unboxing of everything you see here from the game Village Attacks by Grimlord Games, which was a Kickstarter, and it had lots of expansions, and there was a bigger expansion and a troll, lots of stretch goals as well. So let's quickly open up all of these boxes. Okay, so let's start with the base game of Village Attacks. A reasonably big box. I mean, this is, quite a heavy box with some nice artwork on the front, and on the back it has a setup of the game where you can see the components. It has a bit of a backstory here. The components are listed as well. It's a game for 1 to 5 players, ages 14 and up, which plays in half an hour to 180 minutes. So you can be, occupied with this game for a while. So let's open up the box. So there we go. Inside the box, first of all, is a very cool looking rule book. So we have the rule book. And it's reasonably thick, so we've got the contents here with some nice artwork, the components, we've got a bit of an introduction, component breakdown, the basics, so the rules start at page 6. Several things over here, traps, phases of play, and everything is illustrated well with some pictures so you can see what they are talking about, making it easier, of course, to understand how the game plays. Some advanced rules here, and there's a couple of scenarios here. So you've got a mission 1, mission 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 missions in the base game, and a rules summary on the back. Alright, so then we have this nice plastic insert with Village Attacks on it right there. That's pretty cool. That comes off easily. And we have all these miniatures. Now look at that. I'll look at those in a second. Let's first go over the other components. Look at that. It's been shuffled around a bit, but everything has its own nice little spot. So okay, we've got colored bases, of course, for all your miniatures, so you know which player has which guy, and smaller bases as well, so plenty of those. Okay, so we have that. We have a very cool little Village Attacks dice bag. Maybe there should be components in here or something. I don't know what exactly you're using it for, but there's a nice little felt or velvet bag in here. So there's a spot here for the tiles, and they're already punched out, so no punch boards for the tiles, which is nice, and they have their own spot over here. So there's 2 of these crosses, these hallways. There's a smaller room over here, and they're all double-sided. There's several, let's see, 5 of these smaller rooms, medium rooms, I should say. They all have their own number as well. So let's see if I can show you that a bit closer. So there's a graveyard. There's a, an inner hallway here with a library, it seems. There's another graveyard. And here is a what seems to be a messed up dining room. Here's a big foyer with stairs. Here's another library where some of the shelves have been knocked down. This is the heart of the castle that you need to protect. Here's another entrance, foyer. Here's another dining room. And another Heart of the Castle in green. Okay, so those are these tiles. They're in this plastic insert. We've got the dice. So we've got some standard black dice with different faces, and they are engraved. And let's see, they have different faces. They have this symbol, this eye over here, these 4 scratches, this symbol. They have a hand with a torch, and they have a shield. So that's 5 of 6 even of these dice. All right, then we've got 2 extra dice. So a blue, and I apologize for the light changes. It's really windy outside today. It's stormy, and the clouds just keep getting in front of the sun. So apologies for that. So here's another die with some different symbols on it. So this has 3 of these and 3 of those scratches. And it's a die that has, well, it's kind of marbled. It has speckles on it at least. So that's pretty cool. Speckled die. And we have this transparent one with a little bubble in the center. So it's a transparent white frosted die with a torch, 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 nothing and nothing. All right. We have several of these clips that are used for the trackers. We have small cards, several small cards. So here is a pack, 2 packs of those. And we have these character boards. So character boards, here we go. There's the vampire. And on the back there's some cool artwork and a bit of backstory about that. So that's really cool that they decided to put something on the back. So here's where you can put your dice, and you've got bat form and vampirism. So your special abilities basically. So you have that. Here are the dials. So this is the board, and you put the dials on top of this, and you have spots for cards, spots over here for cards. So that's pretty cool. And that just says village attacks on the back. So your castle heart and your village morale. So basically you need to keep this healthy and this down, because in this game you're playing the bad guys. Here's the Dullahan, a mythic creature with its backstory as well, the Headless Horseman. We have the Banshee, really cool artwork. The layout of these boards are very nice. They have the artwork over here, the dice over here, and their abilities over there. It's clean and clear and very well done. Woman of the Barrows. Here's the Succubus, who uses seduction, infatuation, and embrace as her weapons. Some different designs here, some sketches. Really cool. I kind of like all of them. And they went with this one, which is really cool. The wings on the back and everything. Nice. And the Lich. What up, Lich? So we've got the artwork here. They have Soul Arrows, Zombify, and Soul Harvest. And on the back, the Ever-Living Sorcerer. Alright, so those are those. We've got a metal coin in here. So probably the first player token, not sure. But it's pretty cool. Nunc est tempus faciendi. Alright, so that's the metal token. We've got 2 more L-shaped hallways here that do come in a punch board. So there we go. Let's just punch those right away. And they are also double-sided. So I hope those fit. Yeah, they will always fit. I can always put them like this with the others. So there we go. And then there's a couple of punch boards. So we've got those dials that we saw earlier that go onto that board over there. We've got these cards here, these tokens basically, that you can put on your player boards. And we get lots of these tokens. So these are probably wound tokens, and what these are, I don't know. And so here's the villagers, the angry mob with the pitchforks and torches. So yep, so we have several sheets of those. So that's one. We have more of those abilities here. Lots of these that you also see in the die faces. So maybe that's what you put on those slots over here, I'm not sure. But in any case, there's plenty of those as well. And there's a third punch board with more dials. Some of these cool tokens here from all the different types of monsters. And there's a day and night token here with the sun on one side and the moon on the other. We have some village heroes. We have the Skald and the Gravedigger. And the back of the cards as well. So some of these village heroes have special cardboard tokens of their own. There's the Bounty Hunter, the Executioner, and the Alchemist. There's miniatures for these as well, which I will show you in a bit. More of these abilities for the Banshee in this case. And here's another punch board with more tiles. So some of them come on a punch board, some of them don't. Smaller rooms, small dining room or kitchen perhaps. And here's another small room, storage it seems. All right, and then there's another one of those. Oh, this looks like an altar of sorts. And just a big room with, I don't know what they were doing here, butchery. Yeah, there's some meat hanging there. So that's also nice. Here is a fountain. And on the other side, a room that had some benches, some candles. So yeah, and this one that I put away already, also a storage room and another fountain. And we have two smaller rectangular hallways that are both the same with these two illustrations on it. So that's everything in the box. Let's take a closer look at the miniatures. So let's start with this. This looks like it is the succubus, and as you can see, it's really nicely detailed. So it's standing like that with the wings folded, even has a tail. So that's the succubus. I didn't remember all of their names though, but this is the vampire, I think. Yes, looks like it. Lots of detail. I really, really like the amount of detail on these minis. They're very sturdy as well. It's a harder sort of plastic. It's not bendy. So, you know, close to resin, I would say. And here is the Lich, I think. That does have a bit of a bent staff, although it doesn't really look like it's not supposed to be bent that way, so maybe it's supposed to be that way. So here he is with his book and his staff and his robes, looking very menacing. Okay, here is the butcher, the executioner, I'm sorry, the executioner, who looks very intimidating. Okay. Here is the headless horseman. All right, so holding his head in his right hand over there, looking really, really spooky. And in his left hand, he's got this spine whip. It's a very long vertebrae whip. And he's standing on a couple of skulls. Really nice. He's quite a big fellow too. And then there's the Gravedigger. I also like this one of the cooler, well, all the, I mean, the villager heroes and the monsters are all really cool, but I just really like the look of this one. This Gravedigger with this big, you know, this crooked shovel And he's got an actual coffin chained to his back. Really nice. There's a lot of detail going on here, a lot of extra stuff. And here is, I think, the bounty hunter, if I'm not mistaken. So he's got an axe and a gun, a pistol, and some more weapons strapped to his belt. Okay. A lot of different miniatures in here. That's really cool. There's a couple of those though. There's this 5, 6, 7, 8 of those. And then there's this one. Forgot his name. He looks like an assassin or a ranger or a hunter or something. Rogue. And he has a bow and a dagger. He's got his face covered. And he's in a very dynamic, cool running position with a billowing cloak and his quiver on the back. It's very nice. So we got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of him as well. There's a couple of these guys with girls with a sword stretch out. Also very cool. I really like the position, the dynamic position that this is in. So she has her sword raised. She's got, is that a helmet she's got on, or you know, some kind of hood? Hair in the back. She's got a little crossbow on her hip and a quiver on the other. Yep, so that's nice as well. Have to be careful with that tip though. So we have 8 of those as well on this tray. And on the next tray we have the Banshee. So let's take a look at her first. Here's the Banshee. Oh! That's pretty cool. Lots of, you know, billowing cloak, basically, and hair. But a lot of detail as well. Here's another village hero. So one of the unique heroes, this running person with the funny, you know, the double ponytails, and holding a pistol as well, and has some kind of steampunk device on her back. There's another pistols, dual wielding pistols. She's got an axe and some daggers on her hip. And I think some grenades on a bandolier around her chest. It's pretty cool. Gas mask on. So that's that one. We have another village hero over here. So this guy looks very Viking-like with his mustache and his axe. He's got a huge war horn on his back. And some swords as well, some fur. Nice. Then we have this person who has, let me see, yes, lots of bombs, explosive devices. He's got 2 bombs in her hands. Is it a she or is it a he? I think, no, it actually, I'm not sure if this is the hair or if that's something else. So I'm not sure. Kind of looks like a she though, because yeah, I think that's just a big billowing ponytail. Come on, focus, focus. Yes, there we go. So yeah, I'll slowly turn that around for you. So also very dynamic position with a backpack and a big cloak. So yep. Really enjoying the detail on all of these. Pretty cool. And then we have some villagers. So the angry mob of villagers. Here we have this peasant with an axe, and that's it. So he's got some common clothing on. He's looking angry or scared, ready to attack the the monsters inside the castle. So here's this villager, and we've got 5 of him. Then we have, let's see, oh no, actually 8, there's 3 over here as well. So we have 8 of each, it seems. We have this woman with a pitchfork. This peasant in her robes, in a simple dress with a big pitchfork. Really cool. Wind's blowing through her hair, and we've got 8 of these as well. There's another villager with a scythe and with an angry fist in the air. Let's get him! Really cool medieval vibe. So there you go, that's that guy. So 8 of him in the box as well. And finally we have this old person, this old man with a beard, a torch, and a short sword, wearing a hat and a big coat. Yep. So that's him with, 8 of him as well. So those are all the miniatures in the base game. Let's open up one of the expansions. So one of the smaller expansions for Village Attacks was the Traps kit, which is also a book, as you can see. So, here are the pages. There's the front of the book. It also says Traps there. And on the back of the box, you can see some of those traps already printed here, with the contents listed in several languages. So let's open up the box. All right. So this goes here, I think. So this is a nice little box, whoops, with all kinds of funky looking traps. So there's a lot of room in this box though. It's pretty hollow. But we have these transparent stands that are used for some of the flying traps. So let's see if we can figure that out. It looks really cool though. Could have done with a little manual perhaps, although I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but this I think just replaces the tokens in the base game, I'm assuming. So let's have a look. So here is this spike wall, which still has some shreds of cloth hanging from it. And yeah, it's basically just a slab of wall with this pushing forward. So that's a pretty simple one, but pretty nice looking 3D trap right there. Then we have this one, and this one seems like it goes onto a stand. Does it? Does it? Because it looks like a battering ram, something that will fly out of the ceiling like that. But that hole is awfully small for this stand, so that won't fit, and I think they're all the same diameter. So that's a bit weird. That won't fit in there at all. So yeah, that's kind of strange. So then we have, oh crap, this one has a broken off table pin there. That was a very fragile little pin there. I'll have to glue that back, so I'll better keep track of that. But so be careful with handling these. There is this huge stone ball rushing towards you with some planks still, being crashed out of the way. It's crashing aside a chair and a table. So yeah, with some dust billowing around it. That's a really cool looking ball trap there. All right, so that's that. Now let me just carefully pick up this one. I think these are 2 different things. Nope. I actually think this was supposed to be attached to this. I think that broke off. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that broke off. Because this is a chandelier that goes on this. And this also has a bit of trouble fitting in there. Although, yeah, I'm not going to force that. That also does not really fit. So this traps expansion, I feel, could have gotten a little bit more attention and maybe some better inserts, because this should be in here like that, but you know, obviously with a bit of shaking around, this just broke. And this spiky looking chandelier that would be hanging from the ceiling just snapped off right there. It was a really thin point there, as you can see. So that's gonna need a touch of glue to put that together, and you'll have your hanging trap right there. So here's a mimic. That's the kind of monster I always enjoy seeing. This chest that suddenly springs to life with monstrous fangs and feet. These spider-like legs. It's also on a bit of a stand, which might be a bit fragile. So I'll be careful with that as well. Then we have this, which also seems to need a stand, but I can already tell that that hole is way too small again for this. So none of these fit, which is a bit of a disappointment. So we have this, and that's like, you know, a fire-breathing stone sculpture that hangs from the wall and breathes fire or acid or something at passing villagers. That's pretty nice. Kind of reminds me of the video game called Orcs Must Die, which had all sorts of similar traps. So let's see, is this supposed to be, yeah, that's supposed to go in there like that. Here's another one. So this is a bladed trap, swinging blades from the ceiling. I don't know if they were supposed to be crossed like this. I'm not going to bend them because that'll break, but maybe some hot water will straighten that out. And it should be, because there's the hole and the blades are currently in the way of that hole. That's no doubt too small as well. So yeah, but this is something that hangs from the ceiling. Actually has some nice decorations too. And these swing blades will swing towards the villagers. So this needs a stand as well. Then we have a couple of traps that just stand on the ground. Some bases. So we have, here is a treasure hoard. So pile of loot. Maybe that's used to distract the villagers. So lots of coins there. A sword, a crown, and a treasure chest, a big ring, wristband or something. So that's pretty nice as well. At least this won't break. We have a small tile here with a glyph of kinds on it. So I'm assuming that's something you step on and it goes off. Some kind of magic circle. And finally, we have a spike trap. So you walk across it, spikes jut out of the floor, impaling whoever walks there. There's still a skeletal remains there. So yes, the traps, sadly, they do not fit onto their stands, and several of them came. Bro, this one, yeah, that's really sad. The chandelier really has a rope that's too thin, and this one with the frail little table legs. I'm actually afraid of how to put it in here, so I have to very carefully. That's the way it goes. So yes, a bit fragile, but still very cool. The traps. Okay, let's open up the next one. Okay, the next expansion I'm opening is the big expansion called Horrors of the Sands. So this is a medium-sized box, rather nice looking, and all of these boxes have this book-like artwork on them, so they look like a huge tome with the back of the book over here. And on the back of the box, there's some images of the miniatures and the extra tiles that you get, some extra monsters that you get to play as. and some extra town heroes. And this is an Eastern setting, Heroes of the Sands, and it tells you what's in the content in several languages. So let's open up the box. There we go. So another nice plastic insert here with the Village Attacks title on it. And sadly my box has been damaged somewhat, I see. But well, that's okay, no biggie. It's been tumbled around a bit. So let's see. Fortunately, all of these have their own nice insert. And there was a lid on it, so, you know, even though they got tumbled a bit, they didn't go all over the place. So fortunately, I don't think anything got damaged, but we'll see in a second. We have a slot here for these clips, which is kind of a tight fit, but we'll manage. I'll just take them out of the plastic. So we have several new colors that you can clip on to your characters. So let's have a look at those then. So here's one of the darker gray ones. So that should be one of the village heroes. So this warrior here with this imposing armor. Lots of detail on it. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a lot of tiny little, well, relief here. That's these edges. Lots of detail, really nice. And here's him from the back with an axe and a scimitar, pointy helmet. So that's this guy, pretty cool. We have this monster over here who looks like a djinn or an ifrit of kinds. 4 arms, big wings, summoning flames in 2 hands here. Wearing some armor there, so that's pretty cool. And she's in a kind of a whirlwind situation here, where the wind is whirling around her. They even made this separate windy curve here. So that's pretty cool. I like the wings as well. They have this kind of like a magma look. They don't look like feathers, but it's like, you know, molten rock or something. Because, you know, she's made out of the elements. So that's nice. And then we have this this tombed white, kind of, you know, like a mummy or something. She's got this sacrificial ritual dagger. And in the other hand, I don't know what that is, but there's like a flame or some kind of magic coming out of his left hand. He's not holding anything. It's like, you know, he's conjuring up something. And yeah, he looks, you know, like this ghoulish undead, like a mummified face. So that's nice as well. Cool. Here's another one of the heroes. So, you know, a warrior of the sands with 2 daggers. Cool looking daggers and this helmet on. Also in a very dynamic pose. I like how they used the cloak to actually, you know, touch the base, and both of his feet are in the air. So he's like doing this sideways sidestep jump, dodging some kind of attack. Really nice. So we have that guy. And I think it's a unique sculpt. Then we have this monster. I'll look up their names shortly when we go over their dashboards. This is very creepy looking, big billowing skirt. Yeah, what is that? Something from, you know, Eastern folklore, I'm sure. Everything is billowing. So yeah, scary looking old hag of kinds. And here is some kind of demon. So this is a very cool sculpt as well. He has this creepy looking skeletal head with no eye sockets and horns. He's very muscular, as you can see. And he has a, what you call those, a morning star or something, you know, with chains and then these spiked balls at the end. And they look like they're engulfed in flames. So he's also some kind of Efreet or some sand demon. So let's look that up in a bit. And then we have these villagers. So this person here has a magic lamp. That's pretty nice. And it's got some trinkets around their body. And a sash. There's this helmet with a veil over their mouths. And a maybe that's a magic carpet. It's probably a magic carpet. They can fly on it. And here's someone with a sickle and a whip. Also very nice. Very cool Eastern looking clothing. You know, like Arabian Nights kind of thing. So yep, we have her. Are those unique sculpts? It seems so. Then we have these, which are 6 of each. So I'll show those to you as well. So we have this person with a kind of a steampunk-like gun with 3 barrels. And he's also got some kind of a helmet on and a cloak. Also very dynamic pose. So there's 6 of these in the box. Then we have these assassins with another ritual dagger. Very claw-like hands. And yeah, also the same kind of helmet on with a cloak. Running towards the enemy. Nice. So 6 of those as well. And finally, here's another one of those sand warriors with dual swords that they have in their hands, and they have the scabbards on their belt. Very nice looking female warrior. Really like all the detail on that armor. Alright, so 6 of those as well. So let's take this out and let's see what they are called. So first of all, we have, of course, again, these boards that you put on your player board with your abilities on it. So stuff that you can upgrade your character with. So there's a mummy and a ghoul. Here's one of those nice tiles, and this is a bigger room tile and has these Eastern pots on it as well, and it has 4 symbols that you'll find on the dice as well, 5 even. So probably different things you can do with the dice here. So that's pretty nice. Maybe this is a different sort of heart of the castle, and there's 2 sides like this. They're really nice. So that might be a completely new mechanic that gets added to the game. There's, of course, some more cards here. Baba Yaga. So a pack of cards as well. And then there's the player board. So let's have a look. This was the djinn then. See, and here's the fire. The creepy looking head. And the djinn also has some backstory here. Summoned malevolence. Yes, indeed. Here is the mummy. Yes, that was obviously a mummy. And he's actually, yeah, he's summoning fire, holding that dagger. It's really nice. And you can use these as inspiration if you're painting them, which is all why I like having, you know, nice artwork with their upgrades. And some preliminary art. Here is the Efreet. Hey, I was right. That's an Efreet. So you can see it's very fiery looking. Flaming Soul. There, Fiery Doom, indeed. And this is a ghoul. Okay, so we have a ghoul here with some souls underneath that billowing cloak. And the big hands. Nice. Some different ghoul designs. And of course, it's probably based on some kind of Eastern interpretation of a ghoul, because it's different from the ones that I'm used to seeing in more medieval-like art. So we have some smaller rooms here as well, some tombs, some extra ability cards there. Nice, double-sided. And we have the village heroes here. So those unique sculpts that we saw, that's a gypsy with the sickle and the whip. This was indeed an assassin. We have a gin trapper, the one with the flying carpet. That's pretty cool. A gin trapper, that's why he has the lamp, of course. Makes sense. And a muharib, big, you know, guardian warrior. Okay, and those are double-sided as well. So those are all the contents of this expansion, Horrors of the Sands. So let's open up one of the other expansions. Next, I've got some dice to show you. I'm a real sucker for dice, so I got them all. The Village Attack dice. Now here's the Kickstarter exclusive set, which is basically just the black dice, but they're marbled with white. So you've got your standard dice in black and white. And let me just take them out for you real quick, if I can. So it's a bit tight. So there we go. And there are 6 dice with the basic icons here. The villager icon, this magic, I think, if I'm correct, these defense symbols, the melee symbol, this was, I can't remember, or this is magic maybe, I'm not sure, either of these. And this was the ranged attack. So 6 different sides, and they're all basically the same, but they're marbled. They look really nice. So we have those, the Kickstarter exclusive dice. And then there is a set of dice for all of the monster factions, basically. So you got your demons, mythic, undead, cursed, and arcane creatures. And they all have their own colors of dice. So the arcane dice here are purple marbled. The cursed dice are blue marbled. Looks really nice. The undead are, of course, green. That looks really cool. Like, nice and shiny. The mythic dice are red marbled. A bit orange red like. And the demon dice are yellow or gold marbled. And they look really nice. I'll just take the green ones out to take a closer look to those as well. And there we go. So you can see how nice that looks. Nice and shiny. So that when you're playing, in this case, an undead monster, you can have matching dice if you like. And it also is very handy to have several sets of dice. If you're playing with multiple people, then each player can have their own set of dice and you don't have to pass them around. But I'm just a big dice addict, so I just wanted them for bling purposes. So those are the extra dice for village attacks. So here's one that I'm really looking forward to. This is the Troll, a very big one. I think it was a stretch goal, I'm not sure anymore. But yeah, this is a really big one. It comes in its own box. It's, you know, for one figure, a pretty big box. So also in the shape of a book. There it is, the Troll. So there's not much to say about that. It's just one figure, so it contents the, the troll. So let's open it up. These boxes are quite tight, and for something that's not that heavy, a tall box like this is quite hard to open safely. But there it is, in all its glory. The troll. Now, again, this is an insert that doesn't really fit, because it just sticks out like this with its swords. I think that could have been done a lot better, in my opinion. I mean, or maybe this is supposed to go in like that, I'm not sure. Nope. So yeah, if you want your minis to stay safe inside the boxes, down those plastic inserts could have been done a lot better, I think, because this is a bit dangerous. I mean, this sword is already a bit curved because of that. So insert wise, I mean, the base game had a really good insert, but this looks like it's not even supposed to be like this. I think it's just all warped. So yeah, I'll probably keep this somewhere else instead of in this. But okay, let's have a look at this monstrously big figure, shall we? So here he is, the troll with his big hack blades. In his massive hands, he's got some huge armor. He's got some shin armor and big metal shoes. He's got some shoulder and some pauldrons and these gauntlets. And they're all strapped with leather straps on the back there. And yeah, he's wearing some furs. He's got these stone amulets, or maybe there's metal amulets, hanging from these belts across his shoulders. So that's pretty cool. He's got a huge belly. And he's got these horns strapped to his head ornament. Big mean face. Yep, so that is the troll. And the troll, if he enters the castle, he will attack the villagers, but will also attack the monsters that you are playing. So you can use him, you can lure him towards the heroes, but you have to stay clear, because this is one mean mother. Okay, so that is the troll. Let's go to the next box. So let's take a look at the Kickstarter exclusive content, which comes in a cardboard box that is shrink wrapped, though there's no good way for me to keep this shrink wrapped, but I don't need to because it's a simple cardboard box. So I will just rip this open, which is nice to do once in a while. All right, there we go. So inside are these two guys. So there's the Grimlord from Grimlord Games. He has this green base, and he is available as both a village hero and a monster. So let's take a look at the village hero first, which is kind of like how I imagine a Grimlord to look like. So here he is, the man with a big beard, huge armor, very elaborate looking, cool looking armor, and this huge sword. And he's got a bird on his shoulder as well, which is pretty cool. So he looks like a very, intimidating, official looking man of importance. This lord of the land who decided to step in and guide these villagers to victory as one of the village heroes, maybe the village hero. And here he is as kind of like an undead creature, an undead grim lord. So he's looking a bit more shabby, and he's lurching forward, holding a sword which is lower than the base. So that needs to be fixed, because otherwise you can't stand straight. So I'll need to use the hot water method on the sword. His Is that his bird? Still no, I don't think so. I think that's just the back of something sticking out of his cloak there, some wooden pole or something with a bit of cloth strapped to it. But yeah, here he is, the undead Grimlord. So that's the miniature, and of course he needs his own dashboard and his villager card. So here's the dashboard for the Revenant, the undead Grimlord. There he is. So looking evil. Pretty cool. Death and decay. And there he is with some early sketches, the Arisen Lord. So we have that, and here is his ability cards and the Village Hero card. The Grimlord with his stats. So yeah, that's the Kickstarter exclusive Grimlord expansion that backers got for backing the game, as a special thank you from Grimlord Games. And I think I'm going to stop it at this for this video, because I still have 8 expansions to unbox. That's a whole lot, and it's going to take way too long. So I'm going to stop it here, and you can check out part 2 by clicking the eye up there, and that will take you to part 2 of this giant unboxing of Village Attacks. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button below, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching, and see you next time on Board Game Heaven.